Shantimastu Nityam. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
May the well-being of all people be protected by the rulers who follow the path of justice. May the material and intellectual resources be well protected. May all people live with happiness.
Namaskar and a very good morning to everyone present here. I, Siddhant Mishra, Judicial Magistrate First Class, Cognizance taking Sambalpur.
And I, Angswarupa Chatterjee, Civil Judge Junior Division, come Judicial Magistrate First Class, Hemgiri.
Welcome you all to this historic day of inauguration for the Center of Judicial Archives.
As we gather here today, waiting to witness history in the making, we invite you to take a journey with us back through time as we retrace our steps that have led us to this momentous occasion.
Our tale begins from the 3rd century before Christ. In ancient Kalinga, Sakyamuni Gautama Buddha's teachings were widely followed, and the judicial system rooted in Vedic traditions was well structured. Disputes were initially resolved by the village elders, and those who are aggrieved by the results could take their appeals to the higher court, which was known as the Sabha. The Sabha comprised of 3 judges. The Chief Justice was known as Pragvivada or Adhikarnika, and other members were known as Srishti and Kayastha. The King's Court served as the highest authority, handling serious cases and reviewing lower court decisions. The judicial system was compassionate as it exempted vulnerable individuals from punishment.
Kalinga was a highly organized and prosperous society, resistant to outside domination until the invasion by Emperor Ashoka. The brutal Battle of Kalinga caused immense suffering and transformed Ashoka into a proponent of peace, which marked the re-establishment of harmony and prosperity in Kalinga. Kalinga experienced reorganization and growth under rulers like Mahamegha Vahana, Oira Kharavela, Emperor Kapilendra Deva, and other such illustrious rulers who upheld a strong justice system in the state, enforcing a strict yet effective administration.
During the rule of King Kharabela, as etched in the Hattigumpa inscription, the king had to be proficient in legal procedures. The judicial system developed through ages, and during the rule of Gajapati Prataparudra Deva, the justice delivery system emanated from Smriti Sangraha, the digest of Smriti's Saraswati Vilasam. Kalinga had a robust and well-developed legal system, the traces of which still remain in the Kumaranatha Swami temple of Srikakulam in Andhra Pradesh, the then capital of Kalinga.
Subsequently, Kalinga lost its independence when King Mukunda Deva of Chalukya dynasty was defeated by the Afghans. Emperor Akbar's Mughal forces then defeated the Afghans, integrating this land, then known as Kalinga, into the Mughal Empire.
Under Emperor Jahangir, this land was established as a separate province with a well-structured judicial system. The emperor served as the ultimate adjudicator, handling appeals from lower courts. The Sadre Sudur court resolved civil and religious disputes, led by the chief Qazi or Qazi ul Quzat, supported by officers like Mufti, Qazai, and Miradi. These officials handled cases at different levels.
During the rule of the Mughals, they developed a justice delivery system, and the system adopted by the Mughals more or less continued during the reign of the Marathas in Odisha. With the East India Company's growing influence, Robert Clive obtained Diwani rights over Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha, enabling the company to collect taxes. Its officers, untrained in law, acted as judges, often imposing arbitrary punishments. Appeals could only be made to the Privy Council in England.
The foundation of British legal reforms in India can be traced back to Lord Cornwallis, whose tenure as Governor General heralded the adoption of Bengal Regulations of 1793. The system emphasized the separation of powers among the executive, judicial, and revenue functions. The Bengal Regulations introduced under his administration provided the blueprint for governance and justice delivery, eventually extending to other territories under the British control.
With the expansion of the British territories, the need for a structured legal framework became evident. Civil and criminal laws were introduced to replace the earlier systems of governance, which were often informal and varied across regions. Following the annexation of Odisha in 1803, the British sought to implement their administration systems in the newly acquired province. The justice delivery system was revamped to align with the broader British framework. Regulation 4 of 1804 and Regulation 14 of 1805 was specifically enacted to govern the administration of criminal and civil justice in Cuttack, the then province of Orissa.
Between 1806 and 1810, the British also introduced several regulations for the administration of Jagannath Temple at Puri. However, recognizing the limitations of their administrative interventions, these regulations were eventually repealed by Act 10 of 1840. The legal reforms introduced during this period were instrumental in shaping the judiciary and administrative systems in Odisha.
Following the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, the British Crown assumed control, reorganizing the legal system with courts like the High Court, Diwani Adalat, and Faujdari Adalat.
By the time the power was transferred to the British Crown, a well-defined hierarchy of courts was already in place. On the criminal side, the system began with the magistrate, while on the civil side, it started with the munsif, extending up to the Supreme Court. This structure reflected a dual system of jurisdiction, where the Southern courts represented the authority of the East India Company, and the Supreme Court embodied the jurisdiction of the Crown. With the transfer of power, this dichotomy became unnecessary, leading to enactment of High Court Act of 1861. This landmark legislation abolished both the Supreme Court and Southern courts, replacing them with high courts in each of the three presidencies. By the 1st of July 1862, the new judicial system largely established, with Odisha coming under the jurisdiction of the Calcutta High Court.
Orissa was originally a part of the Bengal province during the colonial rule. On the 22nd day of March 1912, a new province of Bihar and Orissa was formed. However, it was the Calcutta High Court which exercised jurisdiction over the said new province. Later, Orissa came under the jurisdiction of the Patna High Court, and in 1916, a circuit court of the Patna High Court was established at Cuttack on the 18th day of May 1916. This reform process marked a significant milestone in India's judicial history, laying the foundation of a stable and uniform judicial framework in the years to come. This was an unforgettable day in Orissa's legal history. The first sitting of the Circuit Court of Patna High Court for Orissa was held at Cuttack on that day. Utkala Gauraba Madhusudan Das, as the president of the Cuttack Bar Association, expressed hope during his welcome speech that a permanent high court would be established for Orissa in the near future.
On that solemn occasion, Utkala Gauraba Madhusudan Das stated, and I quote, "It is my pleasant duty to accord to your lordships a cordial welcome. In the light of the past history of Odisha, the presence of two of His Majesty judges among us today is an occasion of rejoicing. I am giving expression to the feelings of millions of Odiyas when I express the hope that this circuit court will become a permanent bench in the near future, unquote.
The demand for a separate High Court for Orissa gained momentum with the High Court Bar Association passing a resolution on July 26, 1938, advocating for its establishment. On February 11, 1939, the Legislative Assembly of Odisha also supported the cause, passing a resolution urging the government to form a committee to examine the issue. Consequently, the government appointed a committee under the leadership of Shri Rai, with members including Shri C.M. Acharya, Shri Bichitrananda Das, and Dr. Narasingha Rao. The committee submitted its report on December 27, 1943, recommending the establishment of a permanent High Court for Orissa.
As the time passed, the intensity of India's freedom struggle grew, leading to India's independence on 15th of August, 1947. With independence, India began the process of framing its own constitution, which was adopted on 26th of January, 1950. In the same time period, the Odia people's aspirations were fulfilled with the establishment of Odisha High Court on 26 July 1948. The creation of the state of Odisha and the establishment of Odisha High Court marked the culmination of the struggles and aspirations of Odia people who had long sought their separate identity. The dreams of great leaders like Utkala Gaurava Madhusudan Das, Utkalamani Gopabandhu Das, and Vyasakavi Fakir Mohan Senapati were finally realized, and Odisha's distinct identity was recognized.
The Orissa High Court was inaugurated by the then Chief Justice of the Federal Court, Honorable Shri Justice H.J. Kanya, marking a historic moment for the state. The court initially had 4 judges: Honorable Shri Justice Birokishore Rai, the first Chief Justice of Orissa High Court, Honorable Shri Justice B. Jagannath Das, Honorable Shri Justice L. Panigrahi, and Honorable Shri Justice R. L. Narasingham. Over the years, the legal system of Orissa has grown and become as organized and systematic as it was during the ancient Kalinga Empire. The court, as a holy temple of justice, has resolved many complicated legal disputes, strengthening its role and influence.
Numerous distinguished lawyers and judges have made significant contributions in rendering justice to people in Odisha, not only serving the state, but also gaining recognition at the national and international level. Their dedication to justice and service has brought both personal and statewide glory, cementing the importance of the Odisha High Court. We are informed that the honorable guests have arrived. Honorable the Chief Minister and Honorable Law Minister. They will be shortly inaugurating the edifice that we are going to call as a Center for Judicial Archives, and will be subsequently taking a brief tour, and the event is being live streamed on the Odisha High Court's YouTube channel.
honorable dignitaries are now approaching the dais. Honorable Chief Minister of Orissa, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi, Honorable Shri Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, Honorable Minister Law, Government of Orissa, Shri Prithiviraj Harichandan, Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and Chairman, Record Room Digitization Center Committee, Honorable Shri Justice Shashikanta Mishra, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and Member, Record Room Digitization Center Committee, High Court of Orissa.
Namaskar and a very good afternoon to one and all. भविष्यतକୁ ପୂର୍ବାଲୋକନ କରିବାକୁ ହେଲେ ଇତିହାସକୁ ପରାମର୍ଶ କରିବା ଉଚିତ. Whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past. On that note, I, Siddhant Mishra, Judicial Magistrate First Class, Cognizance taking Sambalpur,
and I, Angswarupa Chatterjee, Civil Judge cum Judicial Magistrate First Class, Himgiri,
on behalf of the Honorable High Court of Orissa, extend our warm greetings to the inaugural function of Center for Judicial Archives, High Court of Orissa.
We are also fortunate to have amongst us the Honorable Companion Judges, High Court of Orissa, members of the Bar, officers of the Registry, High Court of Orissa, members of the print and electronic media, all the other distinguished dignitaries, and revered guests who are present today on this auspicious occasion.
At this juncture, may I now request Ms. Pragya Lalit Mishra, First Additional Civil Judge Senior Division Cuttack, to present the flower bouquet to Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Sri Jukta Mohan Charan Majhi.
Thank you. May I now request Ms. Pallavi Priyadarshini Das, Judicial Magistrate First Class City Cuttack, to present the flower bouquet to the Honorable Shri Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa.
May I now request Ms. Sunila Mishra, JMFC UTP Cuttack, to present the flower bouquet to Honorable Law Minister, Government of Odisha, Sri Jukta Prithiviraj Harichandan.
Thank you. Ms. Jasaswini Mahapatra, may I now request you to kindly hand over the flower bouquet to Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and Chairman, Record Room Digitization Center Committee.
May I now request Ms. J. Mohini, Civil Judge on Probation Cuttack, to present the flower bouquet to Honorable Shri Justice Sasikanta Mishra, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and Member, Record Room Digitization Center Committee, High Court of Orissa. Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampada Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya Deepar Jyotir Namostute.
Salutations to the light of the Lamb, which brings us auspiciousness, health and prosperity, and that which destroys inimical feelings. Now, may I request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly light the ceremonial lamp and spread the divine grace.
Thank you. May we now request all the dignitaries on and off the dais and everyone present in this august gathering to kindly rise as a mark of respect for recital of the state song Bande Utkala Janani by Kanto Kabi Lakshmi Kanto Mahapatra.
Thank you all. Atithi Devo Bhava. In our culture, guests are equated with the divinity.
As a symbol of reverence and gratitude, we would like to present memento to honor our honorable guests. May I now request Honorable Chief Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to kindly felicitate the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi.
Thank you, my Lord. May we now humbly request Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi to kindly felicitate Shri Prithiviraj Harichandan, Honorable Minister, Law, Government of Orissa.
On that note, moving on, may I now request Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and the Chairman, Record Room Digitization Center Committee, High Court of Orissa, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Honorable the Chief Minister of Odisha, Sri Mohan Charan Majhi, Honorable the Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, Sri Chakradhari Sharan Singh, Honorable Minister for Law, Excise and PWD, Sri Prithiviraj Harichandan, Member of the Archive and Museum Committee, Justice Mruganka Sahu, Justice Sasikant Mishra, Justice B.P. Satpathy, Justice Shivo Shankar Mishra, my sister and brother judges, Justice Arindam Sinha sir, Justice Sahu, and other my brother and sister judges who are present here and with their gracious spouses present here. Former judges of this High Court, whom we call the Margadarshak, and their gracious spouses, former the Advocate General Shri Pitambar Acharya, Shri P.K. Padhi, Learned DSGI, President, Secretary, and members of Bar Association, senior advocates present here, all the government officials who are present here, the High Court Registries official, including Registrar General and other registrars, Registrar Records, Judicial Archive Center, the CPC and his team, the Director of Archive Center, the District Administration, Municipal Administration, DCP Cuttack and his team, and the PWD officials, different officials of the district and other dignitaries present here. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you present here. Of course, now it is good afternoon. It is both an honor and privilege to welcome you all to this momentous occasion, that is the inauguration of the functional building of the Center for Judicial Archive, Odisha. I extend a warm welcome to our esteemed Honorable Chief Minister, a visionary leader dedicated to transforming Odisha and ushering the age of development. His simplicity endears him to the people of Odisha, and his unparalleled commitment to promoting the state's rich culture and tradition is truly admirable. I also warmly welcome our Honorable Chief Justice, a guiding light and an inspiring visionary whose leadership continues to steer the Odisha High Court towards excellence. I welcome our dynamic Law Minister of Odisha, Shri Prithiviraj Harichandan, who is generously available for our assistance and play the role of Setubandh between executive and judiciary in Odisha. Let us begin by reflecting on the timeless wisdom of Thomas Jefferson, who said, "Information is the currency of democracy." These words are not just a declaration, but a beacon, reminding us that the true strength of democracy lies in free and transparent flow of knowledge. It is through information that is meticulously preserved and diligently shared that we empower citizens, hold institutions accountable, and illuminate the path towards justice and equality. And at the heart of this noble endeavor lies the essential practice of keeping records. Throughout the ages, the civilizations across the world, we have understood the profound power of preserving knowledge, wisdom, and stories for the future generation. In India, the Vedas, Upanishads, and epics serve as timeless records, not just for history, but of the virtues, struggles, and aspirations of our ancestors. From Mesopotamian civilization to the present one, we have seen the record keeping is one of the most important exercises they have undertaken. Every culture has sought to record its history, lessons, and virtues to ensure that future generations are not lost in shadows of time. By cherishing and safeguarding our past, we illuminate the present and guide the future, creating a legacy that inspires progress and unity. Historical records serve as a bridge between eras, safeguarding cultural heritage, protecting identities, and ensuring accountability. They remind us humanity's resilience and capacity for growth. By valuing and preserving our past, we not only honor our origins, but also equip ourselves to envision and create a brighter and more informed future. These records only documents events, but also provide the context and lessons needed to avoid repeating mistakes in future. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat the same, observed philosopher George Sannatayana, highlighting the critical importance of Preserving historical records, keeping records of the past, allows societies to learn from their success and failures, fostering wisdom for the future generation. Without records, democracy flutters, leaving the governed in the dark and powerful unaccountable. The absence of records, history erodes transparency. History undermines justice, weakens the foundation of equitable governance. Today, as we inaugurate the state-of-the-art facility, we stand witness to a pioneering step taken by the High Court of Orissa, a step that is both historic and visionary. At this moment, we fondly remember our former Chief Justice, Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, whose vision and foresightedness laid the foundation for the remarkable initiative. We are deeply grateful to our esteemed Chief Justice Shri Chakradhari Sharan Singh, whose guidance and leadership have brought this concept to fruition, culminating in today's inauguration. Established on 10th May 2022, the Center for Judicial Archive was conceived with a profound purpose. Number one, to safeguard and conserve the fragile judicial records of the High Court and District Court across the state. Till date, the center has preserved approximately 75,000 judicial records predating 1950. Out of these, our 4,132 files, comprising nearly 84,888 sheets, have undergone scientific conservation, and 1,151 files have been digitized so far. The achievement is monumental, not just for its scale, but for its significance. Modern record keeping in India began during the administration of English East India Company, but the archives of that era lacked accessibility and systemic preservation. It is only in the post-independence period that the value of archives as repositories of authentic history gained momentum. Today, these efforts have grown beyond government initiative to include educational institutions, monasteries, private organizations, corporate houses, and is preserving their unique documentary heritage with pride. Judicial records in India remained an untouched realm until May 2022, when the High Court of Orissa took the unprecedented step of establishing a judicial archive center, which we have seen today. This initiative emerged from the discovery of invaluable 19th and early 20th century records in the courts of Odisha, records written in English, Odia, Persian, Telugu, Hindi, and Bengali. These documents are not just artifacts, they are treasures that hold the powers to reconstruct the judicial and legal history of our state. The High Court's commitment extends beyond preservation to the scholarly domain. We allow the scholars to come and do their research here. By compiling the judicial history of Odisha into 4 volumes, it has created a legacy that will benefit legal professionals, historians, and students for generations to come. Volume 1, released in 2023, has already unveiled untold stories of Odisha's legal aspect, and Volume 2 is set for release, marking yet another milestone in the remarkable journey. In this digital era, the role of archive has transformed dramatically. The archive for today are no longer exclusive space for scholars and elites. They are vibrant hubs of information for all sorts of people, including voiceless, whose stories often go unheard. Modern archives embrace the technology to digitize, preserve, and share knowledge across the globe. The Center for Judicial Archive has begun this transformative work, and its commitment to adopting cutting-edge archival practice will ensure that our history is preserved in all formats for generations to come. Lord Acton said, "History is not a burden on the memory, but an illumination of the soul," reminding us that the past is a source of enlightenment rather than a weight to carry. Preserving history allows us to uncover the richness and human experience, learn from triumphs to failure, and deepen our understanding of the present as well as the past. It connects us to the roots of our identity, obscures and perspective to navigate the challenges that we are facing today. More importantly, history inspires future generations, serving as a wellspring of ideas, innovation, and hope. By cherishing and protecting our shared past, we transform it into a source of strength and guidance, illuminating the path towards a brighter tomorrow. As we celebrate this remarkable milestone, let us embrace history not as a burden, but as a powerful compass directing us towards a brighter, more promising tomorrow. What is past is prologue, said Shakespeare in his famous work, The Tempest. Thank you all for patience hearing, and Jai Hind, Bande Utkala Janani.
Thank you, my lord, for your kind words of welcome and reflections on the power of democracy. May we now request the technical team to play a video showcasing the meticulous process undertaken by the experts in conservation of fragile records.
Conservation of fragile record. The degradation of paper material depends on the quality of the paper and various other inherent and external factors. Among the most noticeable deterioration that is recognized during the course of this examination are the following. 1. Acidic and brittle pages. 2. Tears, cuts and losses. 3. Stains. 4. Damaged spines. 5. Creases and folds. 6. Softening of paper. 7. Previous insect attack damage. 8. Damaged binding. 9. Stuck folios or pages. 10. Bleeding or smudging of ink or color. Deterioration multiplies in geometrical progression and even more rampantly. Unless treated in time, this deterioration could reach such a stage when a large part of the collection could be lost forever. There is need to undertake curative conservation of the collection, and once the condition of the collection is stabilized, a preventive conservation strategy be implemented so that the conserved collection can be kept in good health for years to come. Conservation procedure. Documentation of the record. 2. Chemical and physical examination of record. 3. Fumigation of records or pages. The records are fumigated for at least a week inside fumigation chamber with appropriate fumigants like paradichlorobenzene and thymol crystals. 5. Dry brushing of individual record. 6. Chemical conservation, consolidation and fixing of running inks. 7. Aqueous deacidification in case of sheets having non-soluble inks. 8. Double-sided lining with good quality tissue papers to impart physical strength to the record when they are in extremely fragile condition. 9. Stitching and binding of the guarded and lined sheets with conservation guidelines. 10. Treated sheet shall be kept under observation inside the conservation unit for 1 week. These conservation interventions, when carried out on a fragile record, enhances the lifespan of the record when preserved in controlled climate and under expert supervision and technical guidance.
Thank you to the technical team for encapsulating this elaborate procedure in a 4-minute video, which will be very beneficial for the experts in the domain. Moving on, may I now request the Honorable Minister of Law, Government of Odisha, Shri Prithiviraj Harichandan, to address this illustrious gathering.
Honorable Chief Minister of Orissa, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji, Honorable Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, Justice Shri Chakradhari Sharan Singh ji, Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi ji, Honorable Justice Sasikant Misra ji, esteemed judges of High Court, learned Advocate General, distinguished judicial officers, senior members of High Court Bar, members of the legal fraternity, and esteemed guests and invitees. It is indeed a matter of immense pride and honor for all of us to be a part of this august gathering on the occasion of the inauguration of the Center for Judicial Archives of Odisha High Court. This is a historic moment, not just for the judiciary of Odisha, but for the entire legal and academic community of our state and even of the nation. The judiciary is one of the founding pillars of democracy, and its legacy is a testament to its unwavering commitment to justice, equity, and fairness. Over the decades, the Odisha High Court has played a pivotal role in upholding the constitutional values of our nation, and its contribution to the development of law and justice are both profound and inspiring. The Center for Judicial Archive is a visionary initiative, no doubt, a monument to the history and heritage of the judiciary. It will house and preserve many priceless judiciary documents, records, landmark judgments, and invaluable legal documents that capture an evolution of law and justice in our state. If you look at this institution after 50 or 100 years, it would really be a remarkable contribution, valuable contribution to the fraternity of justice, judiciary, as well as legal fraternity. It is not just a repository of the past, but a resource for the present and a guide for the future also. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude, sincere gratitude to the Honorable Chief Justice and the esteemed judges of the Odisha High Court for their tireless efforts and vision in conceptualizing and establishing this center. Your commitment to justice and legal scholarship has always been exemplary, and this initiative is a testament to your dedication. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister for his unwavering support and guidance in strengthening the judicial infrastructure in the state of Odisha. His visionary leadership has enabled transformative advancement in governance, including significant strides in the justice delivery system. The government of Odisha has always prioritized, because the government has come up with a tagline from the day one, justice for all, and justice at doorstep. That is why we have always prioritized the development of the judicial system, recognizing its pivotal role in the upholding the rule of law and ensuring access to justice for all. From modernizing court infrastructure to implementing technology-driven reforms, we have worked in close collaboration with the judiciary to make justice more accessible, efficient, and also transparent. The inauguration of this judicial archive is yet another milestone in this journey. This center will not only preserve the heritage of the judiciary, but also inspire young minds, the students, the researchers, and the legal professionals to look deeper into the rich history of justice in Odisha. It will serve as a bridge between the judiciary and the society, fostering great understanding and respect for the rule of law. As we celebrate this momentous occasion, I urge all stakeholders to take full advantage of this remarkable institution. Let us work together to ensure that this center becomes a hub of knowledge, learning, and inspiration for generations to come. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Odisha High Court for this incredible achievement. I am confident that the Center for Judicial Archives will emerge as a beacon of legal excellence, reinforcing our collective commitment to justice and democracy. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Jai Jagannath.
We thank you, sir, for your words of encouragement to us all and for motivating us in the process of capturing the legal values and documents in our timeless archives. May we now request Honorable Shri Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to kindly deliver the inaugural address. My Lord, please.
A very good morning to all of you. In fact, I am unprepared today to try in Odia. Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji, young, a dynamic Chief Minister of the state of Odisha, Shri Prithiviraj Harichandan ji, Honorable Minister of Law, Government of Odisha, my brother Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, and brother Justice Sasikant Mishra on the dais, my sister and brother judges of the dais, respected former judges of the High Court of Orissa, Mr. Pitambar Acharya, Learned Advocate General, the Registrar General and officers of the High Court Registry, Member Secretary and officers of OSLSA, Director and officers of Odisha Judicial Academy, officers and staff of RRDC and Judicial Archives, learned senior advocates, President, Secretary and office bearers of the Odisha High Court Bar Association, members of the legal fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pride moment for the entire state of Odisha and more particularly the Odisha judiciary as we inaugurate today the Center of Judicial Archives, which is the first of its kind in the country. It's indeed a befitting tribute to the city of Cuttack, the judicial capital of the state of Odisha. It is truly a milestone in our journey to protect and preserve the history of legal proceedings, which is essential for understanding the evolution of the legal system and development of jurisprudence. The center has been established to safeguard documents and records and materials that hold historical significance. The preservation of records shall ensure that the future can access and learn from the past. The records preserved and going to be preserved shall provide a reliable source of evidence for legal, administrative, and historical purposes that can be referenced in research and policy making. The center will serve as a critical resource for researchers, historians, and scholars by offering access to primary sources that can enhance the understanding of various topics, including social, political, and cultural history. Though the court records in India constitute a very important component of history, in the absence of proper and structured archiving policy and facility, they had very limited use so far by the historians and the law researchers. The modern judicial system in Odisha started with the administration of English East India Company in different phases in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. The High Court and the district courts in Odisha are therefore left with millions of invaluable records which need proper care, conservation, and consultation, as they do not come under the purview of Government's Archival Policy Resolution 1972 and the Public Records Act 1993. These records are not transferred to any government archives for their permanent preservation. As a result, many of these records languish in the court record rooms due to negligence and without proper care. The High Court of Orissa, therefore, in a historic step, took the initiative of setting up of a judicial archive to take care of all fragile records of the High Court and district courts of Odisha. The idea of judicial archives was mooted about 5 years ago with the discovery of so many valuable 19th and early 20th century records languishing in courtrooms of the High Court and different district courts in Odisha, such as Cuttack, Ganjam, Balasore, Sambalpur, Balangir, and Koraput. A preliminary observation of these records convinces us that if they would be archived, not only they would provide very good source materials to the history, but also by this process, very important treasure trove of the nation can be saved. The Center for Judicial Archives grew up out of this idea. I must share with all of you that we have been receiving constant encouragement, inspiration, morale, and financial support from the government of Odisha, without which it would have been very difficult to bring this dream project into a reality. This dedicated building has been constructed at the cost of 38 crores, which the government of Odisha was very kind enough to sanction. This majestic building not only intends to house all the fragile records of the High Court and different district courts in a scientific manner, but also set to provide space, infrastructure, and facilities for performing all functions which the model archives perform. The High Court of Orissa has created a benchmark in the field of digitization and e-court processing and has smoothened the functionings of the courts and enormously helped various stakeholders in different ways. Since digitization and information technology has made big inroads into archives all over the globe, the Center for Judicial Archive is set to adopt all such latest technologies and process to develop its archival function, which will make it more people's friendly. Moreover, today's archives are not only an intellectual destination for the elites, but also for the common and marginalized community whose views and voice may be preserved in oral archives by using digital technology. On the other hand, by making archival consultation more people's friendly, its information may be easily disseminated with the common people with the help of information technology. Besides, the center is also intended to develop as an integrated research and academic center in law, history, and archives with an interdisciplinary approach by stimulating various academic programs like seminar, symposium, conferences, and publications. It has already undertaken a very ambitious scheme of compiling judicial history of Odisha in 4 volumes, in which first volume is already in circulation and the second volume is on the verge of release. This volume has unfolded many little known facts about the judicial system followed in ancient, medieval, and British Odisha. I hope in future more such unknown facts will come to limelight after completion of rest of the volume of the series. Further, the center will not only preserve High Court and District Courts fragile records, but also many non-fragile records after 1950, which have historic and administrative importance. It will also accept private papers of galaxy of eminent jurists and lawyers of the state, which will adorn its stack. I do hope and believe such collections and functions, with such collections and functions, this institution will grow as a center of excellence in the country in future. Thank you. Jai Hind. Bande Utkal Jarri.
Thank you, my lord, for the words of encouragement, and we are certain that under the guidance of Honorable High Court of Orissa, the center will act as a confluence of history, cultural studies, science of preservation and archiving, and law. Moving on, may I have the utmost pleasure in requesting the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi, to deliver the keynote address.
Jai Jagannath. Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, Mr. Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, Honorable Minister, Law, Exercise and Work, Shri Prithiviraj Harichandan, Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, Judge High Court of Odisha and Chairman RRDC Committee. Honorable Shri Justice Shashikant Mishra, Judge High Court of Odisha and Member RRDC Committee, esteemed Judges of High Court, Learned Advocate General Sri Pitambara Acharya, distinguished members of the judiciary, legal fraternity, and guests. मान्यवर ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालय न्यायिक अभिलेखागार केन्द्र उद्घाटन अवसर रे आज एठारे उपस्थित रहिबा मो पाई अत्यंत गर्व और गौरवर मुहूर्त। एथिपाई मु माननीय हाईकोर्ट चीफ जस्टिस मिस्टर जस्टिस चक्रधारी चरण सिंह चक्रधारी शरण सिंह एवं यही केन्द्र प्रतिष्ठार योगदान रखिथिबा समस्त को धन्यवाद और अभिनंदन जनाऊछि। यह एक ऐतिहासिक अवसर जहाँ केवल आम न्यायपालिकार समृद्ध परंपरा को पालन करे नहीं बरं आगामी पीढ़ी पाई यह संरक्षित रखा आमर सामूहिक प्रतिबद्धता को मध्य दर्शा जाई थाए। आज परी यही अवसर रे सांप्रतिक सामाजिक एवं राजनैतिक स्थिति विषय रे विभिन्न मंचरे आलोचना हेबा आवश्यक। आमे समस्ते जानिछु जे विधेयिका लेजिस्लेचर कार्यपालिका एग्जीक्यूटिव एवं न्यायपालिका जुडिशियरी गणतंत्र सबुठारु सुदृढ़ तीनोटी स्तंभ आउ चतुर्थ स्तंभ है गणमाध्यम। न्यायपालिकार काम केवल साधारण जनता को न्याय प्रदान करने नुहे देशर गणतंत्र को सुरक्षा और सुदृढ़ करने परी गुरुदायित्व को न्यायालयर कांधरे आम संविधान निर्माता माने न्यस्त करिसंती एवं गत 75 वर्ष है यही गुरुदायित्व को सुचारू रूपे तुलई आसुछंती। आपण माने समस्ते अवगत अछंती जे जो समय रे भारत स्वाधीन होइथिला से समय रे प्राय 50 रु अधिक राष्ट्र विभिन्न उपनिवेशवादी शासकों ठारू स्वाधीनता पाइथिले किंतु भारत व्यतीत प्राय अन्य कौन से राष्ट्र रे निरविच्छिन्न भावे निर्वाचित सरकार माने शासन करी नाहंती। सबुठारु कौन से ना कौन सी समय रे एक छत्रवाद एवं सामरिक शासन चलीथिला एवं वर्तमान मध्य अनेक देश रे चालू अछि। आम देश रे गत शताब्दीर 70 दशक रे जरूरीकालीन परिस्थिति माध्यम रे एपरी अपचेष्टा होइथिला किंतु ये देशर तृतीय और चतुर्थ स्तंभ अर्थात न्यायपालिका एवं गणमाध्यम अनेक त्याग और बलिदान सह पुनर्बार गणतंत्र को पुनर्स्थापना करि पारिथिले। गत 7 दशक रे अनेक विचारपति न्यायपालिकार गर्व और गौरव को बजाय रखिबारे निज निजर योगदान देइछंती। आज मध्य सेहीपरि एक विचित्र परिस्थिति सृष्टि होइछि। आज मान्यवर न्यायालयंकर प्रत्येकटी फैसला सेमानंकर सामाजिक एवं व्यक्तिगत जीवन मध्य तन्न तन्न करी तर्जमा करा जाउछि। न्यायालय रे सबु बेले जनंकर जितापट होइथाय एवं आउ जनंकर हार। यही परिप्रेक्षी मु समस्त को मन पकई देवा पई चाहे जे आज न्यायदेवी चक्षुरु अंधपुटुली हटि जाइछि। आज न्यायदेवी उन्मुक्त नयन रे गोटिए हाथ रे संविधान एवं अन्य हाथ रे न्यायर तराजु धरी उभय पक्षों को शुणाणी संविधान विधि व्यवस्था अनुजाई न्याय प्रदान करुछंती। भारतीय न्याय व्यवस्था सारा विश्व रे अनन्य। भारतर गणतंत्र स्वतंत्र मीडिया एवं निरपेक्ष न्यायपालिका पाई समग्र विश्व रे सम्मानर अधिकारी हेउछि। एथिपाई सारा देश आज गर्वित अटे। न्याय व्यवस्था को अधिक चलचंचल एवं त्वरित करिया पाई 150 वर्षर ब्रिटिश आईन को विदाई देई नूतन विधि व्यवस्था यथा भारतीय न्याय संहिता भारतीय नागरिक सुरक्षा संहिता एवं भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियमर प्रणयन करा जाइछि। एहा द्वारा लोकों को उचित एवं त्वरित न्याय प्रदान करा जाई पारिबो। एही न्याय प्रदान दिगरे विधि विधान सहित भित्तिभूमिर निश्चित आवश्यकता मध्य अछि। एही क्रम रे किछि दिन तळे भुवनेश्वर ठारे अत्याधुनिक जिला न्याय परिसरर उद्घाटन विशेष भाव में उल्लेखनीय जहाँकि यह महामहिम राष्ट्रपति उपस्थित रे ताहा संपादन करने निश्चित भाव में आम सरकार बहुत बड़ा गोटे ये घटना। विचार व्यवस्था भित्तिभूमि निर्माण दिगरे आउ एक ପାଦ ଆଗକୁ ଯାଇ ଆଜିର ଏହି ସେଣ୍ଟର ଫର୍ ଜୁଡ଼ିସିଆଲ ଆର୍କାଇଭ୍ର ଯେଉଁ ଉଦ୍ଘାଟନୀ ଆମ ଆଇନଗତ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାର ଏକ ସମୃଦ୍ଧ ଐତିହ୍ୟର ଭଣ୍ଡାର ଭାବରେ ଏହା କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରିବ। ନ୍ୟାୟପାଳିକା ସମ୍ବିଧାନର ରକ୍ଷକ ଏବଂ ଏହା ନ୍ୟାୟର ମଧ୍ୟ ରକ୍ଷକ। ବର୍ଷ ବର୍ଷ ଧରି ଓଡ଼ିଶା ହାଇକୋର୍ଟ ଗଣତନ୍ତ୍ର, ସମାନତା ଓ ନିରପେକ୍ଷତାର ମୂଲ୍ୟବୋଧକୁ ବଜାୟ ରଖି ଅନେକ ଐତିହାସିକ ରାୟ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦେଇ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି। ଆଇନଗତ ଇତିହାସ, ଐତିହାସିକ ମାମଲା ଏବଂ ଅମୂଲ୍ୟ ଉଦାହରଣର ଭଣ୍ଡାର ହେବ। ଏହା ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଏବଂ ଆମ ଦେଶର ଆଇନଗତ ଦୃଶ୍ୟପଟକୁ ଚିରସ୍ଥାୟୀ କରିପାରିଛି। ନ୍ୟାୟପାଳିକାର ପ୍ରଗତିଶୀଳ ଦୃଷ୍ଟିକୋଣକୁ ଏହି କେନ୍ଦ୍ର ପ୍ରତିଫଳିତ କରୁଛି। ଏହା ନ୍ୟାୟ ପ୍ରଶାସନଠାରୁ ଆଗକୁ ଯାଇ ଇତିହାସ, ସଂସ୍କୃତି ଓ ଶିକ୍ଷାର ପରିସରକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ବ୍ୟାପକ କରିବ। ନ୍ୟାୟିକ ଦସ୍ତାବିଜ, ରେକର୍ଡ ଏବଂ କଳାକୃତିର ସଂରକ୍ଷଣ ହେଉଛି ସେଣ୍ଟର ଫର୍ ଜୁଡ଼ିସିଆଲ ଆର୍କାଇଭ୍ସର ଏକ ମହତ୍ତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ପଦକ୍ଷେପ। ଏହା ଯୁଗ ଯୁଗ ଧରି ଆଇନ ଗବେଷକ, ଛାତ୍ର ଏବଂ ଐତିହାସିକମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଏକ ଅମୂଲ୍ୟ ସମ୍ପଦ ହୋଇକରି ରହିବ। ଆଜି ମଧ୍ୟ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏହାକୁ ଉଦ୍ଘାଟନ କରାଗଲା ଏବଂ ଏହି ଅବସରରେ ମୋତେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସୁଯୋଗ ମିଳିଲା ତାକୁ ପରିଦର୍ଶନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଆପଣମାନେ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଏ ଆର୍କାଇଭ୍ର ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱକୁ ଉପଲବ୍ଧି କରିକି ତାକୁ ଆଜି ଏଠି ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା କରାଇପାରିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ତାକୁ ଆପଣମାନେ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଯେଉଁ ଦୀର୍ଘ 200 ବର୍ଷରୁ ଅଧିକ ହେବ ଯେଉଁ ନଥିପତ୍ର ଦସ୍ତାବିଜ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ଆଜି ଆପଣମାନେ ତାକୁ ପୁନର୍ବାର ଆଉ ଥରେ କେମିକାଲ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ପ୍ରୋସେସ୍ କରିକିରି ଆପଣମାନେ ତାକୁ ସ୍ଥାପନା କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଏହା ଆମ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ଗର୍ବ ଗୌରବକୁ ଏବଂ ଆମର ଯାହା ବି ଆମର ରେକର୍ଡ ଅଛି ତାକୁ ସାଇତି ରଖିବା ଆଗାମୀ ପିଢ଼ି ପାଇଁ ଏବଂ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଯେଉଁ ଜାଣିବାର ଅଭିପ୍ରାୟ ଅଛି ତାହା ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ଆଜି ଯେଉଁ ପଦକ୍ଷେପ ନିଆଯାଇଛି ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଶତ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ପ୍ରଦାନ କରୁଛି। ଏହି ପରିକଳ୍ପନାକୁ ବାସ୍ତବ ରୂପ ଦେବାରେ ମାନ୍ୟବର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ବିଚାରପତି ଏବଂ ମାନ୍ୟବର ଓଡ଼ିଶା ହାଇକୋର୍ଟର ବିଚାରପତିମାନେ ଅକ୍ଳାନ୍ତ ପ୍ରୟାସ କରିଥିବାରୁ ମୁଁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଉଛି। ନ୍ୟାୟ ପ୍ରତି ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର ସମର୍ପଣ ମନୋଭାବ ଏବଂ ନ୍ୟାୟିକ ଇତିହାସକୁ ବଜାୟ ରଖିବାର ଦୂରଦୃଷ୍ଟି ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଖୁବ୍ ପ୍ରଶଂସନୀୟ। ଏହି ପଦକ୍ଷେପରେ ମାନ୍ୟବର ଆଇନମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର ଅତୁଟ ସହଯୋଗ ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆନ୍ତରିକତାର ସହିତ କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଜଣାଉଛି। ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ନ୍ୟାୟ ପ୍ରଦାନ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାକୁ ସୁଦୃଢ଼ କରିବା ଦିଗରେ ତାଙ୍କର ନେତୃତ୍ୱ ଓ ପ୍ରତିବଦ୍ଧତା ଉଦାହରଣୀୟ। ଓଡ଼ିଶା ସରକାର ନ୍ୟାୟପାଳିକାର ସଂସ୍କାର ଓ ଉନ୍ନତି ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରତିଶ୍ରୁତିବଦ୍ଧ। ନ୍ୟାୟିକ ଭିତ୍ତିଭୂମିକୁ ସୁଦୃଢ଼ କରିବା, ଆଇନ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାର ବୈଷୟିକ ଜ୍ଞାନକୌଶଳ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକାରୀ କରିବା ଏବଂ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନ୍ୟାୟ ପହଞ୍ଚାଇବା ଦିଗରେ ଆମେ ଆମର ସହଯୋଗ ପ୍ରଦାନ କରିଛୁ। ଏହି ଆର୍କାଇଭ୍ ହେଉଛି ଏହି ସହଯୋଗର ଏକ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଅଂଶବିଶେଷ। ନ୍ୟାୟପାଳିକାକୁ ସଶକ୍ତ କରିବା ଦିଗରେ ନ୍ୟାୟ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ସମ୍ପର୍କିତ ତଥ୍ୟର ଅଧ୍ୟୟନ ଓ ଗବେଷଣା ମଧ୍ୟ ଅତ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ। ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଦଣ୍ଡ ହାର ବୃଦ୍ଧି କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମ ସରକାର ପଦକ୍ଷେପ ନେଉଛନ୍ତି। ମହିଳା ହିଂସା ବିରୁଦ୍ଧରେ ଦଣ୍ଡ ବିଧାନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ 4ଗୋଟି ଜିଲ୍ଲାରେ ମହିଳା କୋର୍ଟ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସରକାର ନୀତିଗତ ନିଷ୍ପତ୍ତି ମଧ୍ୟ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି। ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନରେ ଏପରି ଅଧିକ ସ୍ୱତନ୍ତ୍ର ବିଚାରାଳୟ ମାନ୍ୟବର ଉଚ୍ଚ ନ୍ୟାୟାଳୟଙ୍କର ଦିଶାନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶରେ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା କରାଯିବ। କାର୍ଯ୍ୟପାଳିକାକୁ ନିଜ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ସୁଚାରୁ ରୂପେ ସମ୍ପାଦନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯାହା ସବୁ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ଆମ ସରକାର ସେସବୁ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରତିବଦ୍ଧ। ଆଉ ଏଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ସରକାରଙ୍କ ପକ୍ଷରୁ ମାନ୍ୟବର ଉଚ୍ଚ ନ୍ୟାୟାଳୟର ସହଯୋଗ କାମନା କରୁଛି। ନ୍ୟାୟିକ ଉତ୍କର୍ଷତାର ଏକ ନୂତନ ଅଧ୍ୟାୟର ଦ୍ୱାରରେ ଆଜି ଆମେ ଏଠାରେ ଠିଆ ହୋଇଥିବା ବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଏହି ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାର ସମସ୍ତ ଅଂଶୀଦାର ବିଚାରପତି, ଆଇନଜୀବୀ, ଗବେଷକ ଏବଂ ନାଗରିକମାନଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରୁଛି ଯେ ସେମାନେ ଏହି ଆର୍କାଇଭ୍କୁ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରନ୍ତୁ। ଏହା ନ୍ୟାୟିକ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାର ଅତୀତ ଏବଂ ଭବିଷ୍ୟତ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଏକ ସେତୁ ଭାବରେ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରୁ। ଏହା ନ୍ୟାୟପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଏବଂ ସମାନତା ଭିତ୍ତିକ ସମାଜ ଗଠନ ପାଇଁ ଆମର ଉଦ୍ୟମରେ ଏହା ଆମକୁ ମାର୍ଗଦର୍ଶନ ମଧ୍ୟ କରୁ। ଶେଷରେ ଏହି ମହତ୍ତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ସଫଳତା ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ମାନ୍ୟବର ହାଇକୋର୍ଟଙ୍କୁ हार्दिक अभिनंदन जनाऊँगी। मोर विश्वास जे सेंटर फॉर जुडिशियल आर्काइव्स समग्र देश में ज्ञानर आलोक एवं न्यायिक शिक्षा पाई एक प्रेरणा हेब। आम विचार व्यवस्थार मंत्र हेउछि जतो धर्म स्ततो जय। या चरितार्थ करने आजिर यही आर्काइव एक महत्वपूर्ण पदक्षेप। मु आपण मानकु समस्त को पुणी थरे शुभेच्छा एवं अभिनंदन जनाऊँगी। आज जो सेंटर फॉर जुडिशियल आर्काइव्स जो आज ये भव्य भवन निर्माण होती 39 कोटी व्यय निर्माण करा जाई अछि एवं निश्चित भाव में आज यह एक आम ये जुडिशियरी विभागर एक संपत्ति ताकू साइती रखिबा एवं ताकू व्यवहार करिबा एवं ताकू कार्यकारी कराइबा आम समस्तंकर ये नैतिक दायित्व एवं कर्तव्य मध्य। सेही भली भाव में किछि प्रस्ताव हाईकोर्ट तरफरु ऑनरेबल चीफ जस्टिस को तरफरु जो प्रस्ताव किछि आसीछि से प्रस्ताव गुड़िक निश्चित भाव में करबा पई आम सरकार त्वरित पर्यायर ताकू विचार को नहीं। विशेषकर बालेश्वर ठारे जिला न्यायालय पाई आसीथिबा प्रस्तावटी को आम सरकार विचार करी 6 एकर जमीर एडवांस पोजेसन मंजूर करिसंती। सेही भली कटक एवं केउंझर ठारे जिला न्यायालय पाई जो प्रस्ताव गुड़िक आसीथिला ताहा कटक पाई 7 एकर एवं केन्दुझर पाई 5 एकर जमीर एडवांस पोजिशन पाई मध्य आम सरकार अनुमोदन करि सारिछंती। आम सरकार समय रे नुआ सरकार आसीबार मात्र 6 मास होईछि। आज 11 तारीख आज बोधे आम सरकार 7 मास पूरण होउछि। एही अवसर रे आज ये समय अवधि भितरे आम सरकार अनेक गुड़ाए गुरुत्वपूर्ण एवं आमर लक्ष्य को लेकर आम अनेक कार्यक्रम करने जो आम योजना करूँ। या इतिमध्य 14टी अतिरिक्त जिला न्यायालय 5 गोटी विजिलेंस कोर्ट 2 गोटी फैमिली कोर्ट एवं 7टी ग्राम न्यायालय को मध्य अनुमोदन इतिमध्य दिया सरी। एवं यही कटक ठारे हाईकोर्ट ऑफ ओडिशा रे कार्यरत जो आमर स्टाफ मानक पाई समस्त कर्मचारी मानकर पाई मध्य 550 गोटी स्टाफ क्वार्टर्स निर्माण करने पाई 284 कोटी टंका व्यय अटकल ताकू करने पाई मध्य जहाँ आम कैबिनेट को आसीथिला कैबिनेट रे मध्य ताहा अनुमोदन हो सारी। एणु या परे मध्य जो प्रस्ताव आसीबो मु एठी मुख्य विचारपति महोदय सहित आलोचना करुथिली जे आगामी दिन में आम सरकार मध्य त्वरित पर्यायर ये न्यायपालिकार जो समस्या गुड़िक अच्छी जो काम गुड़िक आमको करार अच्छी प्रस्ताव आम पाखक आसवा दरकार। एवं यदि प्रस्ताव ठीक समय आप देवे आम निश्चित भाव में यथा समय आम ये सरकार समय समस्त प्रस्ताव गुड़िक कार्यकारी करने आम यत्नवान हेबु एवं ये विभाग को आम सुदृढ़ करने निश्चित भाव में विहित पदक्षेप नेबु। आसंतु समस्ते मिलमिशि गणतंत्र ये स्तंभ गुड़ी को सुदृढ़ करने दिगरे निजर गुरुत्वपूर्ण योगदान आम समस्ते रखिबा कारण आम समस्त संविधान सर्वोपरि। धन्यवाद। वंदे उत्कल जननी। भारत माता की जय।
We all thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts on implementation of law and the utmost importance of judiciary in ushering a new era of preservation of various legal documents. May I now request Honorable Shri Justice Shashikanta Mishra, Judge, High Court of Orissa and Member, Record Room Digitization Center Committee, High Court of Orissa, to propose the vote of thanks. My Lord, please.
नमस्कार और शुभ अपराह्न। ओडिशार मान्यवर मुख्यमंत्री श्रीजुक्त मोहन चरण माझी महोदय, ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालयर मान्यवर मुख्य विचारपति न्यायमूर्ति श्रीजुक्त चक्रधारी शरण सिंह महोदय, ओडिशार मान्यवर आईन मंत्री श्रीजुक्त पृथ्वीराज हरिचंदन महोदय, ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालयर विचारपति तथा रेकर्ड रूम डिजिटाइजेशन कमिटीर अध्यक्ष न्यायमूर्ति डॉक्टर संजीव कुमार पाणिग्राही महोदय, ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालयर समस्त विचारपति और तांकर सहधर्मीगण, पूर्वतन विचारपतिगण, सरकारी अधिकारी वृंद एवं उपस्थित सज्जन मंडली, आज ओडिशार न्याय व्यवस्था एक अविस्मरणीय दिवस। उद्घाटित होइतिबा न्यायिक अभिलेखागार भारतर सर्वप्रथम। यह निश्चित भाव में आम गर्व और गौरवर कथा। एठारे संरक्षित रही विचार विभाग बहु पुरातन नथिपत्र और दस्तावेज जार अध्ययन और गवेषणा द्वारा आम इतिहास अनेक अप्रकाशित और अजना तथ्य आलोकित हो पार। शास्त्र कहे दुखेन लिखितो ग्रंथं पुत्रवत् परिपालयते, अर्थात बहु श्रम और कष्ट स्वीकार करी रचना करा जाइथिबा ग्रंथ को पुत्र परी जत्न रे अर्थात उचित भाव में संरक्षण करने आवश्यक। यह ही ओडिशार न्यायिक अभिलेखागार मूलमंत्र, जहाँ तार प्रतीक चिन्ह वर्णित रही। 2022 मसीहा मई मासरे स्थापित यह अनुष्ठान आज निजस्व गृह ओडिशार मान्यवर मुख्यमंत्री श्रीजुक्त मोहन चरण माझी करकमल उद्घाटित होइछि। निजर व्यस्तबहुल कार्यसूची सत्वे आम गहन उपस्थित होई ये अट्टालिकार शुभ उद्घाटन करिथिबारु मु सर्वप्रथमे ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालय तथा आरआरडीसी कमिटी तरफ मान्यवर मुख्यमंत्री को गभीर कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करुछि। निजर सकारात्मक चिंताधारा जी आम समस्तर प्रिय भाजन होइछंती और यही कार्यक्रम सफलता बलिष्ठ नेतृत्व नहीं आमको दिग्दर्शन देइछंती से हेले ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालयर मान्यवर मुख्य विचारपति न्यायमूर्ति श्रीजुक्त चक्रधारी शरण सिंह महोदय। एठारे कही रखे अभिलेखागार रे स्थानित स्थायी प्रदर्शनी तांकर निर्देश रे ही प्रस्तुत होइछि। कमिटी तरफ मु मान्यवर मुख्य विचारपति को गभीर कृतज्ञता जनाउछि। कृतज्ञता जणाइबी मान्यवर आईन मंत्री श्रीयुक्त पृथ्वीराज हरिचंदन को। से आमर निमंत्रण रक्षा करी कार्य व्यस्तता सत्वे आम गहन उपस्थित रही यही कार्यक्रम अंशग्रहण करी आमको उत्साहित करिसेंती। धन्यवाद सर। कृतज्ञता जणाइबी आरआरडीसी कमिटीर अध्यक्ष तथा उच्च न्यायालयर मान्यवर विचारपति न्यायमूर्ति डॉक्टर संजीव कुमार पाणिग्राही को, जहाँ को नेतृत्व में खूब कम समय मध्य यही कार्यक्रम सफल आयोजन करा जाई परिला। कमिटीर अन्य सदस्य न्यायमूर्ति मृगांक शेखर साहू, न्यायमूर्ति बिरजा प्रसन्न शतपथी और न्यायमूर्ति शिवशंकर मिश्र को मध्य धन्यवाद जनाउछि यही कार्यक्रम सफल रूपायन पछरे तांकर व्यक्तिगत प्रचेष्टा पई। ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालयर मान्यवर विचारपति वृंद और सेमानकर सहधर्मिणी गणकर सदैव उपस्थिति यही कार्यक्रम शोभावर्धन करिछि। आपण समस्त को अनेक अनेक धन्यवाद। न्यायिक अभिलेखागार प्रतिष्ठा करिबारे प्रमुख बिंधाणी हेले पूर्वतन मुख्य विचारपति डॉक्टर एस मुरलीधर। आपण आज एठारे स्थूल भाव में उपस्थित नथिले मध्य आम हृदय उपस्थित। आपणकर सुदूर प्रसारी चिंता और प्रचेष्टा जोगु आज आपणकर मानस संतानर परिप्रकाश होइछि। आपण को मु समस्त तरफ गभीर कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करुछि। ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालयर मान्यवर पूर्वतन विचारपति वृंदंकर उपस्थिति आमको उत्साहित करिछि। आपण को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। उपस्थित समस्त वरिष्ठ सरकारी अधिकारी को धन्यवाद जनाउछि तांकर उपस्थिति पई और सबु समय रे आमको सहयोग हाथ बढ़ाइथिबा पई। धन्यवाद जणाइबी एडवोकेट जनरल श्री पीताम्बर आचार्य को तांकर सदैव उपस्थिति पई एवं सहयोग पई। धन्यवाद जणाइबी डेप्यूटी सॉलिसिटर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया श्री प्रसन्न कुमार पाढ़ी को तांकर उपस्थिति पई। न्यायिक इतिहास रचना करिबा तथा न्याय संग्रहालय पई गठित कंसल्टेटिव कमिटीर समस्त सदस्यों को तांकर उपस्थिति और दिग्दर्शन पई कमिटी तरफ अनेक अनेक धन्यवाद जनाउछि। अन्य सरकारी अधिकारी यथा कलेक्टर कटक, डीसीपी कटक, कटक म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन कमिशनर एमान बिना सहयोग रे स्वल्प काल मध्य ए कार्यक्रम सफलतार सहित संपादित हो पारि न थांता। सेमानको गभीर कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करुछि। वरिष्ठ आईनजीवीगणकर उपस्थिति कार्यक्रम शोभावर्धन करिछि। आपनको सेतिपई धन्यवाद। ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालय बार एसोसिएशन सभापति, संपादक और अन्य कर्मकर्ता उपस्थिति धन्यवाद जनाउछि। आरएनबी अधिकारी और कर्मचारी को तांकर क्रमागत प्रचेष्टा धन्यवाद जनाउछि। इंटैक्र श्रीमती मल्लिका मित्र और दिगंतर श्री रघुनाथ नायक और अन्य अधिकारी और कर्मचारी वृंद अक्लांत परिश्रम करी यही कार्यक्रम सफल रूपायन करिसेंती। ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଅନେକ ଅନେକ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ। ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଉଚ୍ଚ ନ୍ୟାୟାଳୟର ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ୍ରାର ଜେନେରାଲ ଓ ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିର ଅନ୍ୟ ଅଧିକାରୀଙ୍କୁ ତାଙ୍କର ପରିଶ୍ରମ ପାଇଁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଜଣାଉଛି। ବିଶେଷ ଭାବରେ ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ୍ରାର ରେକର୍ଡସ୍ ହରପ୍ରସାଦ ପାଢ଼ୀ ଓ ତାଙ୍କର ଦଳ ଦିନରାତି ଏହି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରି ଦିନରାତି ଏକ କରି ଏହି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରିଥିବାରୁ ଅନେକ ଅନେକ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଜଣାଉଛି। ଏଠାରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ କଟକ ତଥା ଆଭାସୀ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ଯୋଗକୁ ଦେଇଥିବା ରାଜ୍ୟର ବିଚାର ବିଭାଗୀୟ ଅଧିକାରୀଙ୍କୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଜଣାଉଛି। ନ୍ୟାୟିକ ଅଭିଲେଖାଗାରର ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶକ ଲଲାଟେନ୍ଦୁ ଦାସ ମହାପାତ୍ର ଓ ତାଙ୍କର ସହକର୍ମୀ ବୃନ୍ଦ ଓ ଆଇନ ଗବେଷକ ବୃନ୍ଦଙ୍କୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଅକ୍ଳାନ୍ତ ପରିଶ୍ରମ ପାଇଁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଜଣାଉଛି। ଆମ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ରକ୍ଷା କରିଥିବା ସମସ୍ତ ଅତିଥିଙ୍କ ସଦୟ ଉପସ୍ଥିତି ପାଇଁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଜଣାଉଛି। ଗଣମାଧ୍ୟମର ପ୍ରତିନିଧି ସବୁ ସମୟରେ ଆମର ବାର୍ତ୍ତାକୁ ଜନତାଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ପ୍ରଚାର କରି ଆସିଛନ୍ତି, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ। ଏହି ବିଶାଳ ଅଟ୍ଟାଳିକାକୁ ଉଦ୍ଘାଟନ ଯୋଗ୍ୟ କରିବାକୁ ଅନେକ ବିଭାଗର କର୍ମଚାରୀ ଦିନରାତି ଏକ କରି ଅକ୍ଳାନ୍ତ ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯେତେ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ କମ୍ ହେବ। ତଥାପି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ତରଫରୁ ସମସ୍ତ କର୍ମଚାରୀଙ୍କୁ ଅନେକ ଅନେକ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ। ଯଦି କାହାର ନାମ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କରିବାକୁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛି ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ କ୍ଷମା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି। ଶେଷରେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଉଚ୍ଚ ନ୍ୟାୟାଳୟ ଓ କମିଟି ତରଫରୁ କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଜଣାଉଛି। ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ। ବନ୍ଦେ ଉତ୍କଳ ଜନନୀ।
Thank you, my lord. With this, we have come to the end of the inaugural function. May I now request the honorable dignitaries on the dais and the honorable companion judges, High Court of Orissa, along with the respective spouses, to kindly proceed to the lawn area for a group photography session. May I also request the audience in attendance to kindly proceed to the first floor for lunch.
We thank you all and namaskar.
Namaskar.
हाइट ठीक अच्छे सांग हाइट आउट हाइट करवा हाइट करवा तो है हेलो तो हौ आरंभ कर रह नहीं सारा आम कौन शुण समस्ते ने तो ये नहीं सांग हाइट ठीक हो तो देखो ठीक अच्छे तो
से ये देले से छोट चिरकुटी गुड़ा दियो फाइलटा पूरा दियो जीवा दले कहतु आउ थे आज मानवर ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालय न्यायिक अभिलेखागार केन्द्र उद्घाटन आज करा जायछि एवं यह निश्चित भाव में आम ओडिशा पई एक यथा समय गुरुत्वपूर्ण पदक्षेप बोली मु निश्चित भाव में कहबी इथिरे विशेष करिकी ये आमर विशेष करिकी एथिरे समस्त को ये बाबद ज्ञान प्राप्त हवापाई एवं विशेष करिकी आईनगत इतिहास ऐतिहासिक मामला एवं अमूल्य उदाहरणर ये अभिलेखागार एक भंडार सदृश ये हम एवं न्यायपालिकार प्रगतिशील दृष्टिकोण यही केन्द्र यह निश्चित भाव में न्याय प्रशासन ठारू आग को जाई इतिहास संस्कृति और शिक्षार परिसर को यह निश्चित भाव में व्यापक भाव में भूमिका नब न्यायिक दस्तावेज रेकर्ड और कलाकृतिर संरक्षण होउछि सेंटर फॉर जुडिशियल आर्काइव्स एक महत्वपूर्ण पदक्षेप एवं यह मध्य दीर्घ 200 वर्षरु अधिक समयर जो विभिन्न प्रकार रेकर्ड्स विचारपति मानकर न्यायपूर्ण भाव में जो न्याय प्रदान करिवार रेकर्ड्स एवं ताहा सहित अनेक गुरुत्वपूर्ण जो दस्तावेज ताहा ये अभिलेखागार हेबा द्वारा से संरक्षित रखा एवं ताकू आज जेभली भाव में एठी स्थापित कराई ताहा अति गुरुत्वपूर्ण और आगामी दिन में मध्य यह
जो माने आईन गवेषक हिसाब रे काम करिवे जो छात्र माने एठी आसिकी अध्ययन करिवे एवं ऐतिहासिक माने जेते बळे समाने ए संपद को देखिए निश्चित भाव में से तरफ यह एक रुधिमंत करने एवं आमर संपत्ति को सुरक्षित रखिबार ये जो आज काम होता निश्चित भाव में विचार योग्य विशेष करके मु कहवा कथा हूँ जे आज जुडिशियल सिस्टम रे एवं यहाँ को अधिक आधुनिकता देवाई बहु पुरातन भित्तिभूमि गुड़िक जहाँ अच्छी ताहार सुरक्षा सहित ताकू नवीकरण करने आम सरकार नुआ आसला त्वरित पर्यायर ताकू नेबाई विचार को नौछंती एवं सेथिपाई एठी जहाँ भी समस्या अच्छी ताकू एवं विभिन्न जिले में जो नुआ नुआ कोड जिला कोड गुड़िक पुनर्बार आउथरे नुआ ताहार जागा सहित लैंड सहित नुआ कोड प्रतिष्ठा करने पदक्षेप आम सरकार नेबाई आरंभ करिसंती से विशेष करके बालेश्वर जिला कटक जिलार एवं केन्दुझर जिलार से जमी एडवांस पोजिशन आमर अनुमोदन हो जाइछि सरकार द्वारा एवं से आम त्वरित पर्यायर आर्थिक व्यवस्था करले काम आरंभ हबो एवं आम सरकार समय रे आमे विचार विभाग को आहुरी अधिक क्रियाशील करने अधिक विचार केमती तार समाधान हो पार से अतिरिक्त 14टी जिला न्यायालय 5टी विजिलेंस कोर्ट 2टी फैमिली कोर्ट 7टी ग्राम न्यायालय को अनुमोदन आम सरकार कर सारी आगामी दिन में ताहा तुरंत कार्यकारी करने या दृष्टि दि जाऊँगी विशेष करके यही कटक ठारे जो आमर हाईकोर्ट ऑफ ओडिशा जो ये परिसर भितर बा ये हाईकोर्ट रे जो आमर कार्यरत जो अधिकारी माने अछंती स्टाफ माने अछंती सेमानको पाई मध्य स्टाफ क्वार्टर रो बहुत आवश्यकता थिला ये प्रस्ताव मध्य आम पाखक आसीछि एवं सेथि पाई 550 गोटी स्टाफ क्वार्टर्स निर्माण करा जिवो 284 कोटी टंका सेथि पाई कैबिनेट रे आम सरकार ताको अनुमोदन मध्य करि सारिछंती तुरंत ए कार्यक्रम आरंभ हबो आउ या परे मध्य आमे जेहेतु न्यायपालिका एक गुरुत्वपूर्ण विशेष करी गणतंत्र पाई एवं किभली भाव में स्ट्रेंथन हो पार आगामी दिन में समस्त प्रकार जो समस्या गुड़िक अच्छी त्वरित पर्यायर प्रस्ताव आसवाई मु आमर हाईकोर्टर चीफ जस्टिस सहित आलोचना करी प्रस्ताव आसिले आमे ताकू विचार करी त्वरित पर्यायर काम करने निष्पत्ति नहीं पार। धन्यवाद।